Several groups calling for the resignation of the Integrity Commission's Executive Director, Christie, to resign, while bloodletting continues in Grants Pen. This is Undiluted News, Mikey Bones reporting. Several departments have called for Christie to resign. The Jamaica Accountability Meter Portal and National Integrity Action have called for the resignation of the Integrity Commission Executive Director Christie. In a statement on Friday evening, JAMP said it noted with grave concern that Mr. Christie's response to the media request for comments on the deplorable shooting of a member of the Commission on Thursday. While it acknowledged that the shooting must have heightened the stressful work environment at the Commission, the watchdog group said it believes the comments of Mr. Christie were highly unacceptable and irresponsible. And after a member of the Commission was shot and a reporter asked Mr. Christie about the shooting incident, his words were to ask the government, which was interpreted as if the government was responsible for the shooting. Meanwhile, the St. Mary police are searching for a man who stole the firearm of a pastor in the parish on Thursday. The police said about 5 p.m., the 57-year-old pastor, who is also a justice of the peace, was inside his house in Boscobel when a man known to him ran inside his house and grabbed a pouch with his licensed firearm. The man then made off with a weapon which was loaded with 17 rounds of ammunition. The St. Mary police have charged one of two suspects who attempted to carry out an armed robbery in the parish 3 weeks ago. 39-year-old Alwyn Edwards, otherwise called Bull, of Sports Road, Islington, has been charged with shooting with intent, possession of a prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, and using a firearm to commit a felony. Investigators reported that on September 5th, the men trailed a 72-year-old farmer from a bank to his house in Lewis Street, Highgate, in a bid to rob him. The farmer realized he was being followed and raised an alarm. A licensed firearm holder came to his assistance and opened fire on the gunman, hitting Edwards, who was later taken into custody. The other men managed to escape. Meanwhile, two brothers and a cousin were killed at a house situated at 69 Chisholm Avenue in Kingston on Saturday morning. The victim has been identified as Mason's 27-year-old Alex Ricketts and 30-year-old Neva Ricketts, otherwise called Fata. The other victim is a 48-year-old delivery man, Ricardo Henry, also called Rasta. And it's reported that about 1:15, the gunmen entered the premises and ordered the victims to go to a different house in the yard. The assailants then shot the men before escaping. The police were called and the Ricketts brothers and their cousin were pronounced dead at hospital. Senior Superintendent Keith Ricketts, the commanding officer for the St. Andrew South Police, said the gunmen were dressed in clothing imitating the police, and investigators are now probing whether the shooting is linked to a missing gun. The police have confirmed that David Clark, who is said to be the brother of dancehall entertainer Malika Clark, popularly known as Jashie, was shot and killed by gunmen in Grants Pen in St. Andrew on Saturday morning. Another man was also shot and injured in the incident. The police confirmed that the attack happened about 2 o'clock on Saturday morning. Police report that the 29-year-old laborer David Clark and another man were at a yard in Grants Pen when armed men approached and opened gunfire. Clark was shot and killed while the other man was injured. Josh's family has been under a dark cloud since June of this year, when the DJ's name surfaced in an investigation regarding the death of a businessman, Omar Romy Wright. The DJ later surrendered himself to the police in the company of his attorneys, King Counsel Peter Champagne and Richard Lynch. He was questioned and released by the police about the June 7 murder. And in July of this year, a motor vehicle which Jashie owned was attacked by armed men on Constant Spring Road after an event which was held to mark his birthday. 6 men, all members of his entertainer's entourage, were shot and injured. The entertainer reportedly left the event in another car and managed to escape injury. Since then, he has left the island, and it seems as if it is a case of you can't catch Kwaku, catch him shut. So there was also another recent shooting which took place yesterday. 2 more men were killed in Grants Pen. 3 people were shot, 2 fatally, by men traveling in a Toyota motor car. They have been identified as 45-year-old Shane Brooks and Gawain Harvey. Sometime after 3 o'clock, a group of men armed with M16 rifles and handgun entered a property, which is a work site, yesterday evening and shot those victims. A visitor from the United States was shot dead and another man injured while at a burial at the Medares Memorial Gardens in Spanish Town in St. Catherine yesterday afternoon. The dead woman has been identified as 57-year-old Shernette Harmon from Brooklyn in New York. The injured man, who is 23 years old, has been released from hospital. And information is that about 3 p.m. yesterday, both persons were among patrons leaving a burial when they were pounced upon by gunmen. Police said the gunman opened fire at the motor vehicle before escaping. Harmon was shot in the head and upper body, while the man sustained injuries to his right hand. They were rushed to hospital, where Miss Harmon was pronounced dead and the man treated and released. And no motive has been established for the attack as yet. On to sports, Mona High turned in a workmanlike performance to edge St. Catherine 2-1 and now leads the Group E in the Manning Cup at Mona on Saturday. Mona ended the match with 10 players as Robina Gordon was sent off after receiving a second yellow card in the 90th minute. Mona are unbeaten in the competition and lead the group with 12 points from 4 matches. St. Catherine, who were suffering their first defeat of the season, are second in the group with 9 points from 4 matches. And in other games on Saturday, Hydel High edged Charlie Summit 1-0. Calabar were 5-2 winners over Camperdown. And the destructive Kingston College beat Penwood 14-0. On to the Costa Cup, Jamaica's former champion Rossies as well as Manchester High joined Anata Bay High on 4 wins after scoring victories in Saturday's weather-affected round of matches in the Costa Cup schoolboy football competition. On a day when at least 6 of the 22 games were affected by poor weather, 10-man Rossies High edged rivals Frome Tech 1-0 in Zone B, while Manchester High beat Mount St. Joseph Catholic 6-0 in their Group F game, both taking over the lead in their respective groups. In the meantime, Monroe College came from a goal down to earn a 1-1 draw against Stets in their big St. Elizabeth derby in Santa Cruz. Kempsell High held Garvey Massey to a 1-1 draw, while William Nib Memorial rebounded for their loss on Wednesday to Ocho Rios High to beat Cedric Titus 3-0 in Martha Brae. Central High, last year's beaten finalists, won their first game in style, hammering Porus High 16-0 after back-to-back losses to open the season. York Castle High also scored in double digits with a 10-0 win over Discovery Bay High, with Kamari Hunter scoring 3 times. Magotty High hammered Roger Clark 8-0 in their game. It was shortened to 80 minutes after it was interrupted by lightning, and the Carteret College also scored 8 goals against Cross Keys. Ferncourt outscored Abonat Gallimore High 5-2, while Nakalva beat Black River 3-1. Manning School were also winners, blanking Grange Hill 3-0, as Kajay Williams scored a double and Gregory Phillips scored the other. In the other matches, Veer Technical beat Fogger Road 2-1, while Kempsell and Garvey Massey played out a 1-1 draw. And that's going to be news and sports on your favorite community radio. My name is Mikey Bones. Have a wonderful day, everybody. I gone.